The Castle of Secrets. Freddy was always that kid. The one whose mind never stopped buzzing with ideas, whose hands were constantly moving, building, crafting. Whether it was turning a pile of discarded newspapers into a paper rocket or transforming an old shoebox into a treasure chest, Freddy saw potential in everything. It wasn't just about making things. It was about creating something new, something with a twist, something others hadn't thought of. That's why Freddy wasn't the least bit surprised when the announcement came at school. "All right, class," Mrs. Lawrence said, her voice crisp and excited. "This Friday, we will be holding a competition to see who can create the most unique item. It needs to be something special, with hidden features that no one else can immediately see. The winner will get a prize, and of course, the pride of knowing they created something truly one of a kind." Freddy's eyes lit up. The competition was exactly what he'd been waiting for. He knew he could come up with something extraordinary, something that combined his love for adventure with his passion for building. But as soon as Mrs. Lawrence finished speaking, Freddy froze. He had no idea what he was going to make. The next few days were filled with sketches and ideas. Freddy sketched robots, secret doors, even flying machines. But nothing seemed right. Everything felt too simple, too obvious. What could he create that no one would expect? Then, one afternoon as he was rummaging through his basement for old crafting supplies, Freddy stumbled upon an old, dusty hardback book. It was huge, with a dark green cover and golden lettering that had almost faded. As he ran his fingers over the cover, an idea clicked in his mind. A castle. Not just any castle, but a secret one. A hidden fortress with chambers that nobody would guess existed unless they looked closely. A castle that, on the outside, appeared ordinary, but on the inside was a world of mystery and surprise. That night, Freddy stayed up late, his desk littered with cardboard, paints, glue, and a few old tools he had borrowed from his dad's garage. He began working feverishly, his hands moving with precision, cutting, shaping, and gluing the pieces together. The first step was the base. Freddy took the hardback book and opened it carefully. It was old, but he knew it would make the perfect foundation for his project. He began by securing the book's pages together with strong tape, creating a sturdy base. Then he started to build the castle walls with cardboard. The walls were tall and made up of several layers of cardboard, giving the structure both strength and depth. Freddy carefully cut out windows and doors, though he didn't glue them in place yet. He needed those openings to remain a secret for later. As the castle started to take shape, Freddy felt the excitement surge through him. He painted the walls with bright colors, gold, blue, and red, vibrant and striking, just like the fantasy worlds he had always dreamed about. He added intricate designs to the walls, detailing stone patterns, ivy creeping up the towers, and even a flag flying high on top. But Freddy's real genius lay in the hidden features. He started by creating secret compartments inside the castle, places where something could be hidden without anyone knowing. One of the walls, which looked like solid stone, could be pushed inward to reveal a small drawer hidden in the depths of the castle. Another section of the floor could be lifted to expose a tiny compartment where Freddy could hide his most prized possessions. But the most amazing feature? The hidden escape passage. Freddy used a flap of cardboard that, when pressed in the right way, would reveal a secret door at the back of the castle. Behind this door was a small, winding staircase made from rolled-up paper, leading to a tiny chamber where Freddy could store his most important items. The passage could only be opened if you knew the secret, pressing a certain stone on the front of the castle, which would make the entire back wall slide open. The castle was nearing completion, but Freddy didn't stop there. He added finishing touches. Little flags made from fabric, a moat drawn around the base of the castle, and even tiny wooden figurines to represent the people who might live in such a magnificent fortress. Freddy wanted his creation to not only be a physical object, but a world unto itself, one that could hold stories and adventures. Finally, the day of the competition arrived. Freddy carried his castle into school, his heart pounding with both excitement and nerves. As he set it down on the table in the classroom, he watched as the other students presented their creations. Some had built robots, others had crafted fancy jewelry boxes, and a few had made elaborate sculptures. But Freddy knew none of them had made anything like his castle. When it was his turn, he stood tall and proud, though he tried to suppress the jittery feeling in his stomach. "This," Freddy said, his voice steady, is a hidden castle. On the outside, it looks like any regular structure, but inside, it holds secret chambers and hidden passageways. The walls and floors are full of surprises that only the person who knows the secret can uncover. The class gathered around as Freddy carefully demonstrated each hidden feature, showing them the secret compartments, the sliding door, and the escape passage. He even revealed how the castle's tiny figures could be moved around to fit into different parts of the story he'd created in his mind. Mrs. Lawrence's eyes widened with admiration. "Freddy, this is incredible. You've managed to combine creativity, craftsmanship, and ingenuity all in one project. You've truly built a world." The other students were equally impressed. Some had never imagined that a simple cardboard castle could be transformed into something so interactive and mysterious. Freddy's heart swelled with pride, but he knew it wasn't just about winning. It was about the journey, the process, and the joy of creating something that felt alive in his hands. At the end of the day, when Mrs. Lawrence announced the winner, Freddy's name was called. He couldn't believe it. The cheers from his classmates were overwhelming as Freddy walked up to receive his prize, a shiny blue ribbon and a certificate declaring him the creator of the most unique item. As he walked home that afternoon, clutching his ribbon, Freddy smiled to himself. He wasn't just a boy who loved to create things. He was an explorer, a builder, a dreamer. And his hidden castle wasn't just a project. It was a glimpse into the kind of person he was becoming. Someone who would always see the world not just for what it was, but for what it could be. The end of the competition was just the beginning of Freddy's next adventure.